have Brenda Rodriguez here, who is going to do a presentation over LinkedIn, and she is with Harbor Hospice. And how long have you been there?
12 years.
12 years, wow. So she's got a lot of experience and will be able to give some great insight on LinkedIn. So please help me in welcoming Brenda Rodriguez.
Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for taking time out of your day to come and learn a little bit about LinkedIn. I feel old. I feel young at heart when I'm out in the workforce. I feel real young, and then I come here and see you guys, and I'm like, dang, I'm old. I said, we didn't even have this projector in this room when I was here at Lamar. It was a desk for the teachers, so it's really changed a lot, and it's great to see all the technology that's being brought into the school. So I just want to talk about LinkedIn. Who here has a LinkedIn profile? A few of you. Okay, good. Do you feel like it's up to par where it needs to be? Do you work on it? Raise your hand if you work on your profile. You feel good about it? Good, good. Okay. So that's my mission today, is really to bring your LinkedIn profile up. And if you haven't got one started, today's the day. I hear there's a career fair, so this is where you really want to start getting that profile ready. Who's graduating in what month? December? Do we have graduates? Are y'all beginning? Okay. So it's never too early. This is where you're going to build as you have your career here in college, and take that information, that things that you're doing right now, whether it's volunteer work, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, and add it to your profile. So a little bit about LinkedIn. It is a professional networking site. So this is a form of social media, but it is not our Instagram, it's not our Facebook. We are going to keep this strictly professional and what we want to be out there in the career field and how we're going to land that job. So 530 million accounts. Every time I do this presentation, the numbers just keep going up, and we keep seeing that increase in people who are using LinkedIn and recruiters who are using this. Visual of your resume. This is about you. Again, it really is taking your resume to the next level. Everything's technology. We want to be able to show those people beyond a piece of paper that's pretty flat, only can put so much information on there. This way you are really going to be able to emphasize who you are and what you're looking for and how you're going to help this company. Job search definitely is where the jobs are. Millions and millions of jobs are posted on LinkedIn every day, so it's really just a vast variety of things and in your network that you can use, and of course to build connections. So once you land that job, we don't stop using our profile. We use it for connections. We use it if we are the hiring person now, where we're going to find people. So a little bit about LinkedIn, if you've never seen it or kind of really had any interaction with it, this is what our profile looks like. And of course it is similar to social media. You have a news feed. The news feed here, the difference is this is more business related. I follow a lot more healthcare industry, so I'm going to see that on my feed. I'm also going to see my connections, what they're out doing, where they're making an impact in the market. So all that shows up there. Of course, you can post. You can put everything from videos, images. And then my profile's to the left, a little bit about me, and then there's even people you can add, suggestions. So very similar to what you see in any kind of social media platform that you would be following. Where to start? The first thing we have to do is put up a picture. The thing about this picture is we are not putting our picture from this past weekend's party. We are going to make this very professional. If you do not have a headshot, it's a great thing to invest in. If you don't know how to do that or get that, just take a good picture. About from the neck up, very clear. This is not a selfie picture. This is not a bathroom mirror picture. I can't emphasize this enough of the pictures that I see. This is your first impression. When an employer pulls up your profile, we want a nice representation of who you are and what you represent and how you're going to represent their company. It's okay, a little smile would be nice. Of course, we don't want to have mugshot. I have looked at these pictures, I see everything. I've seen nurses who have no smile, no personality, and I think, do I want them caring for the patient? So very, very important. Another thing you can do on LinkedIn is add a background picture. Don't leave that blank. Set yourself apart. These are all things that I'm telling you today are going to get your profile viewed more by doing something as simple as adding a profile picture. The background picture is another way. If you're in an industry, business, whatever you want to put there. You also, maybe you're a graphic designer. You can design your own work. Put it there. Show what you can do. So my background picture I use more for my company. Our graphic designer designed one, so I use that because I want people when they're on my profile to know where I work and how we connect and help each other in the workforce. So 2 more steps. After you got that profile picture, we're going to start working on our headline. This is going to tell about us. You have a few characters here just to say what you are, a value statement. Again, if you're looking for that position, you want to be a marketing director, there's thousands of profiles that say marketing director. Don't just put your title, put a little bit more about you, what you can do in that statement and headline. Also your summary. This goes more into elevator speech. You got a few more characters to be able to write a little bit more and really emphasize what you can do for that company. How are you going to help that company? What can they expect from you, and what are your talents that you're going to show in that little bit of space that you have? Another great place to start looking is keywords. We'll talk a lot about that through the whole job search process, and also getting your profile viewed. Whatever industry, you don't want to just slap a whole summary here that you're a master at 50,000 things. Really narrow that down of what you're looking for. What job do you want to secure? And use keywords in that industry in your summary. When recruiters are going out there and they're searching profiles, your profile is going to show up more on those searches when you are using the right keywords on the jobs that you want to land, you want to be able to have. So that's a lot of homework there, a little bit of research to make sure we're working through that. So here is a profile. This is as you start building your profile. This may not look exactly as it is. I've filled out my profile, so I can't go back and show you the little meter here. So I am showing you just as LinkedIn will show you as steps are completed, that you did your photo, you've added education, skills, so it's going to check you off. And the goal in LinkedIn is to get an all-star profile. That means you've kind of checked all the boxes, you've really completed a successful profile in their eyes. So just make sure you're doing that. Again, this part, only you will be able to see, this kind of middle section. It shows you how many times people are viewing your profile. And so on this one, 41 people had viewed it. And I had posted something and 137 people had viewed something that I posted at this time on my news feed. So there's great information there. And then we'll talk a little bit about this section to the right here on editing your profile and some other things we can add. If you do speak another language, you even can have a LinkedIn profile in another language. So for anyone that applies to, it's good to know there. So good information. So this is more current. This is when I click on to look at my profile, what the profile looks like today, and you would see this format. And so you can see I have my name, I have my headliner there, I've got my summary started, where I work, education too. Schooling is another thing. Just by adding your schooling and your location, your profile can show up 20 times more when recruiters are looking. If you're going to be moving, if you want to relocate somewhere, put the city that you want to land that job in. So if you're going to Dallas and you want to land that job in Dallas, go ahead and put Dallas. So when people search for graphic designer, Dallas, Texas, your profile can come up on those radars and be in those searches for them. Again, you'll see your dashboard. You'll see your dashboard here. So this, it does say private to you. This is where you're seeing who has seen your profile. Post views, I could do better on that. I haven't posted anything in a little bit, so there's not a post that it pulled the views on for me. And then 6 search appearances. So I've showed up as someone who was searching for whatever they were searching for, that my profile showed up in their search. And then you can see again the all-star. That's where you would also look if there's something you haven't completed on your profile to be able to get that information. And then on the right, this is where you can find your connections, and then also what's showing up on your profile, where your websites are, your email, and then again, the edit section. We'll talk a little bit about that in the toolbar. this I didn't blow it very good, but you can kind of see and get it. We're scrolling down now, so we've come out of where I just showed you. We're down to the next screen. Experience. LinkedIn just changed this, and I'm really excited. I like the change that they made on your work experience. What they did is, before, I've worked for the same company 12 years, but I've held many different positions, and before, it looked like I worked for, we have our corporate office, and so it was very fragmented. If you didn't really look at it, because the way it did the timelines, it may have looked like I only worked in certain jobs for, a year and 10 months. Now that we were able to use one company and you can list all your jobs and then it totals it up. So you can see I've worked for Harbor Hospice over 12 years and I've held these 4 different positions. So it really gives you a better snapshot of work history. And then again, education is on there as well. Another thing about that too is there is a place to add volunteer work. I didn't screenshot that, but volunteer work is also something. 41% of recruiters are looking at your volunteer work. And so that's why I was just saying, now's the time to go ahead and start building this and putting words out there. And as you change in your cores here at Lamar, you can update those, make those changes. So you're already out there, you're already making connections with people and able to start your networks. Again, toolbar, very similar into any kind of social media, back to homepage. Your network is your connections. These are the people that you're going to be connecting with and able to really make this work for you, and we'll go through that in a little more detail. Again, when you're looking for jobs or you're looking for people to hire, LinkedIn does have its own messaging system that you can utilize when you're trying to connect with someone. Because of the levels of connection, sometimes you have to send a message and then hope that they respond to that. So the same in notifications. Pretty simple. This I really like about LinkedIn is you can have your own URL to your page. So you can design this for you and be able to put that on business cards. You can put that in a signature line of your email. So this is a great way. You can put it on your resume. Let them know you have a LinkedIn profile. Let them know there's more to that paper that you submitted and where they can find you. So in here, and I talked a lot about to the right, where you edit, so you're going to the profile section, and there's a place, to the edit profile, and then the URL. So here was mine before. It's quite long. It's not something we want to use. And so I was able just to change it for Rodriguez 1, so it makes it very simple. I can put that out there. People can easily find me, even in a conversation. If it's not on your business card, maybe your company doesn't allow that. We don't put it on our business cards. But I can say, hey, I'm on LinkedIn. It's just my name and a 1. So very simple. And also, the search engines are really good at finding people, so not a lot. Career history. Again, we're putting our job descriptions on there. We want to be detailed. If you want any awards, honors, put that on there. And again, education. Just having this information filled out is really the key to getting your profile started. Getting that on there, showing what you do. I think volunteer work too, as you progress in your career, you may work on a project with a nonprofit. Always write that down, and I will suggest even on your resume, write that down. As being in a company, been there a long time, sometimes I know, and then I'm like, what year did we do this big project? So keep that timeline going. With LinkedIn, you can put that on there. It's adjusting. If you get to a point where that's not really relevant for the workplace, just delete it. It's real simple. So use that as your kind of ongoing list. This next part is featured skills and endorsements. So this is another section of your profile where you're going to be putting keywords that LinkedIn has recognized for an industry. And I know this is hard to see, but this is the endorsement section, the skills. It's another part of your profile. And what this does is it allows people to go on there and click that you are good at team building. You are good at strategizing. So these are great things that you list. So you get to select these. You want to make sure that they're in your industry. One example, if someone put that I was a great cook. Well, cook and what I do have nothing to do with each other. And so I would probably delete that one because you don't want it to bog down with things that really aren't relevant to your position, and make sure that people are endorsing you for things that you are good at and that they have interest in and that you work together. So, and then you are able to list those in order of what you feel is more relevant and what you want people to see if they were just to not really dig into that, but look. Recruiters say endorsements kind of are, they're not really heavily weighted in the job, when they're looking for someone. What they do look at is recommendations. They do say on endorsements because it's like, I'll get all my friends to endorse me that I'm a great teamwork. Well, it kind of loses a little of that because it's so easy for someone just to click, she's good at all these things. So that's where it kind of loses a little bit. But if they did see a candidate that had 50 endorsements and a candidate that has no endorsements, they would go with the person who had more endorsements if that's what it came down to. So still important, but not heavily as weighted that you would need that. And this is again, hospital, business development, strategy planning, that's where you can reorganize on what you want people to see. Recommendations. This is what recruiters are looking for. They are looking for your recommendations. Recommendations are a lot harder to get because they take time. You can't you're going to have to ask for these. You're not going to get people just to say, oh, there's Sarah's profile, let me just go ahead and write her. You're going to have to reach out. You're going to have to ask someone. Ask a professor. You can ask someone maybe in the volunteer work that you're doing. If you are doing that internship, when that internship is over, ask them to write you a recommendation for your profile. And that will really give you, it carries a lot of weight with recruiters and wanting to see those recommendations on your page. One thing about the skills and the endorsements too, if someone does endorse you for skills, reciprocate and go back to their profile, endorse them some too. So that way we can keep that, you want to keep those open communications and connections with people that may feel you're strong in something, give them that back. So now we're going to talk a little bit about privacy settings and how to set your account and the ways that you want to utilize the account based on the way I may use it, may be a little bit different as you are in the job search market. You may use it a little different, but I just want to go over some of that. Under the Me at the top, this is where you get to your settings and privacy under LinkedIn. And I love this because they say you are the boss of your account. LinkedIn does offer a lot of features that you can go through, and we'll go through some of them. One, I think I didn't blow up, but is a see your email address. For me, I only let first connections, the people that I have connected with, be able to see my work email address. And the only reason on that for me is because I get a lot of emails through our work system, and I don't want it bogged down with people who I may not be as connected with. So that person who is not a first connection, they would be able to go and message me through LinkedIn, but not have access to my work email. So a lot of profiles you'll see, you're not going to get their work email. You would have to message them through the system and then hope that they would connect with you through that means. So a little bit of that. So who can see your connections? So we're going to talk a lot about connections, the people that you are meeting. When you connect and say, yes, I want to connect with that person, you're friends with them, you've accepted their friend request, that's the means of that first connection. You're allowing them access to your profile. So when you can see these connections, here I only let people see my connections just because in my field, if someone knew in marketing and sales, they knew, well, she has a lot of connections, she's very successful in the market. Well, they can go on there and see all of my connections and who I market to, who's my business, kind of my portfolio is there for anyone to go get. So I don't let anyone see who I'm connected to, so that way it keeps it a little bit more, they've got to go do their work. They can't just copy the work off of who I'm connected with. So that's, again, is just your preference and your industry that you may want people or don't care that people see who you're connected with. And then viewers of this profile also viewed. So it's kind of like when you order something from Amazon and it says everyone else ordered these items also, it's the same thing. So if a recruiter goes and looks at my profile, if I have this turned on, they're going to get a list on the side that says someone viewed my profile and they also viewed these 6 other profiles. So what that can lead to when you are looking for a job, if someone did land on your page, they're going to see, oh, well, wait, this caught my eye to the, this other person caught my eye. So you may lead them away from your page by having that open. So I do keep that off. And again, these are all your options and the best way you feel that would fit for you. Profile edits. This one is good when you are making a lot of changes. So when you go in and you're building your profile, or maybe one day you know that you need to update your profile, you don't want to bombard people's feeds with a lot of information that's maybe not be relevant to you right now. You just want that solid profile. So you can turn that off, and then when you're ready that you are ready to add a career change, you can turn that on. For me, mine, it says no here, but mine does change edits. I may have just shown this for the example, but when I was updating my stuff, I hadn't updated that I had taken a new position with Harbor about 6 months ago. And so as I updated that, my connections see that I have taken a new position at Harbor. And so you will get some emails, some notifications. People can send a congratulations. So it does, open those doors and just notifies people. And maybe now you're in a role that one of your connections can utilize that and can build that and have some networking there. Profile viewing options. So this one becomes fun. So whenever you go out and you look at someone's profile, they are going to be able to see that you looked at their profile. So there's no hidden searching for people unless you turn that off. So just remember that. If you go out and look at everyone's profiles, they will see you looked at their profile. Now we can change this. You can drop it down to someone at Harbor Hospice did it, or that I was in private mode. You can't see me. If you do turn it where you're going to search secretly and look at other people's profiles, then in return you are not able to see who is looking at your profile. So you either have it on both ways, or when you turn it off, it's off for both ways. So I hope that makes sense. But there is some upgrading to the premium. You can see here, it does allow you a few more options. LinkedIn with paying for the membership, it does get pricey. My recommendation is try it the free. I use the free. I've never paid for it. A lot of recruiters, people that maybe are new, having trouble finding a job, will pay for that premium membership. I find you get a lot of the same things without having to pay. So my suggestion is work your profile with the free, what they offer, before stepping into the paid membership. I put it like this: if you're going to pay for it, you can't just pay for it and leave it there. It's like the gym membership. We can't just pay for it, it's coming out of our account every month, and we're not going to the gym. It's the same way with your profile. If you're going to invest that money, and it does get pricey depending on what package you want, then you need to make sure you're actively working that profile and getting the most out of what you need for, if you're recruiting or if you are looking for that first job. So in looking for the first job coming out of college, it may be something that you want to research a little more, and maybe something to invest in until you land that job. So this is some of the statistics LinkedIn will give you. So as you are building that new free profile we're going to start with, and you're adding your profile, you're adding your headliner, your summary, you're going to start seeing how people are connecting with you. Mine is not that great. I have had an increase in the last week and 23 profile views in the last 90 days. So again, my situation is a little bit different because I am more stable in my networks. I know who I'm connected with, and you would want to, as being looking for that job, you're going to want these numbers to be going up. You want to see that. So with that free profile, you're going to be able to track and see the trends of how your profile is being seen in the workplace. Again, so here's where I was talking a minute about profile views. So here is where you're going to be able to see who looked at your profile. So if you're applying for a company and someone from that company does look at your profile and they have it open, then you'll be able to see this. Brian is a guy I met a few weeks ago at a conference. We're working on a nonprofit nonprofit lemonade day for Beaumont, and he is in Austin Market. And so we connected there, exchanged business cards, and a few days later, he had asked to connect on LinkedIn, which I think is really great. It just shows you the power of LinkedIn and how easily now I have a direct. You know, I took his business card that day, I stuck it in my purse in a special little slot, and then, you know, work life and business, you know, things move on. And so it's great to have connections here. I'm able to reach out to him. It's just electronic. LinkedIn is also an app on your phone, so it does make it easy. All the pictures I'm showing you today are from the desktop. Building your profile, you're going to start on the desktop, but once you get it built, you'll be able to do everything from your phone and be able to access it at any time. You want to pull up a contact, you know, you're in a business meeting and someone says, well, what about so-and-so, they work, you know, over here. I can pull up my phone, I got their email, I'm able to send them an email right there. Really simple, easy. Also, you can see a student at Lamar found my profile, and then Whitney is a sales director at Pelican Bay, so she is someone in my network that I do work closely with, had looked. And I'll tell you, the rest you can unlock with premium, and it shows you the last 90 days. If you're active on your profile and you're looking at it, you're going to see day to day who's looking at your profile. So you really pay to go back and see the history. It really doesn't benefit if you're constantly staying up on it. It's going to update as people are looking at it. And also to show you here, Ashley here with no picture. She has the dreaded gray blob. That drives me crazy, so please, if you take anything, put a profile picture. So again, my eyes almost didn't even look there, because if you looked, I mean, this one, it just kind of looks similar. My eyes are drawn to people that have profile pictures, and you can see nice, you know, headshot there. If you were to turn off, we were talking about turning off the private view. If you were to turn it off, you would get this screen here. There's no profile views. Immediately when I turned it off, that I didn't want to see I didn't want people to see me searching for them. When I went back to the screen, all of what I just showed you of who's looked at my profile was gone. So instantly it does switch that off. So we got our profile ready, and we want to talk about connections. I've spoke about a little bit of connections, and that's the term when you're making the connection on LinkedIn. So with that, the way LinkedIn was designed, they wanted to keep a little bit of the business world still into this app, you know, the design of it. When going out, when you meet people, you go out to a business networking, the Chamber of Commerce does a great networking, and they're mix and mingles. And so I may go to that meeting and I see someone that I know. Well, he's going to introduce me to John, who helps him, you know, he has a payroll company, and maybe I need John to help, you know, give us a bid on our payroll. So with that, our first connection was the gentleman I knew, and so that's who you're connecting with. You're able to see second connections because me and John have this mutual friend. And then the third is someone that John, the payroll guy, is connected with. So that is as far out as you can see. Once you get out past that, you can't connect with those people. You do have to have the membership and being able to get those people on your radar. So you want to, that's why it's important to build your connections, like the circle rings. So the more first connections, that's going to bring in more second connections and so forth. And getting those people. Accepting the unknown. When you get those requests, it's up to you on who you're going to accept. It's very controversial on do you accept everybody, do you not accept everybody. And with that, you know, this isn't social media. You're not putting pictures of your kids, you're not putting pictures of what you did last weekend, your house address, your car is on there. This is strictly business, so there's really not, I mean, you can't accept everyone. I know if you get some that are kind of spam-like, or I'm real particular, I will not, even if I know your name, you work in the office beside me, I will not accept you if you have a gray picture, because that drives me crazy. So, again, accepting the unknown, it's really up to you. Being new, really trying to build your profile, my suggestion is accept anyone that you can accept, because you never know where that one connection who they're connected with. You know, maybe they know the CEO of a company that you're trying to get hired at. So really utilize that. Again, LinkedIn will give you suggested connections like other sites, and then groups is another place that you really can network in. If you have a group that you belong to, I belong to a lot of the hospice organizations. I have a certificate in hospice administration, and so we have our own group through LinkedIn, and this is people from all over the country who run hospices. So that does allow me connections and able to network with them, find out, you know, what they're doing. Maybe we're having something going on. Hey, how are you handling it? So groups is also a place. Maybe you're relocating and someone in that group knows that there's a job opening here as well. So a great way to also put yourself out there. Again, this tab just really told you, I'm just showing you some of the invitations. Once you get to accepting, I have 431 connections. I've probably been a little more selective in the last year. Once you get to 500 connections with LinkedIn, you just get a 500 plus that you've exceeded and you have made those connections. 4 groups. Hashtags is something new that LinkedIn also just came out with. As people post stuff in their feeds, if they use the hashtag, then you can follow a certain hashtag. So there may be one that's in your industry, and you'll be able to follow that. So every time they use a hashtag, you'll be able to see what's being posted and utilize in those. And LinkedIn has suggested here the hashtags that are most relevant and being used in the hospital and healthcare industry. So just some suggestions there of how to follow. And you can see it also would show you groups and people as well. That's where it would put up the suggestions on people that you may want to connect with based on your industry. LinkedIn does a lot of I can't even say the word, but just using those to connect you with people that may meet your needs, that you're using those keywords and able to find people in your industry. So if we were talking about connections and levels of connections, we are looking here, and this just shows you if someone's profile is out of your network, you have limited visibility. So I tried to click on somebody that I saw that had popped up, and this is the message I got. So I'm not able to connect with them or even look at their profile because I'm not close enough connected with them. And this is where you'll see, so this is under our company Harbor Healthcare page, and I wanted to look at who was connected to the page. That's another great resource. Another great way to utilize is the page of a company, and you can see who's connected to that page. So if there is a company that you've always wanted to work for, you just love that company, then you're able to see who am I connected to that works at that company. Statistics show that most people get hired because they have a connection some way to that organization. So this is a way to get your foot in the door, to start making those connections, find out what those people follow. So here you can see different people. They do gray out because they're just a LinkedIn member. They're not giving me their name, but they are an RN case manager in the Houston market. But when I click on that, it gives me the black screen. I can't look at that person. So until my connections get closer to those people, it'll never show me who they are. Again, 90% of recruiters are relying on this site. There's many articles, even I saw statistics up to 95% that recruiters use LinkedIn at some point in the process of hiring. Whether it's searching, whether it's checking, the reference, they will be looking at your profile. Again, target the companies, that's what I was talking about, and again, HR professionals are using LinkedIn. So we've got our profile built. We want to look at what am I going to do next? How am I going to land that job? How am I going to find that job? So the first thing, if you are getting on there and you are ready to get that job, you are actively applying, and you can go all the way to I don't want any offers. For me, that's where I stand. I don't need offers. I love my company. I've been there a long time. But for you, you're going to be at a different place. And so this is the great thing about LinkedIn. And so my profile probably doesn't show up in a lot of searches because there's no point in the recruiters wasting time on trying to send offers to someone that is just not going to accept, not even interested. And it also shows recruiters where you're at, you know, how hard are they going to be working? Are they going to be trying to, you know, open to offers? Are they going to be trying to pull you away from another company? Or hey, you know, you're fed up, you're ready, you'll take an offer. So definitely, you know, make sure you're marking that so that lets people, the recruiters, know where you stand. On here too, something new is LinkedIn salary. That's some of the premium stuff, is they've added that where you can see where your money is when you're getting that salary. Where do you land between other people in your same industry? So that's pretty new, and looking at that as well. This for me just showed some other jobs. You can also do your career interests. I didn't say that, but it does say location, industry, how many employees work there, a job title. I've never filled that out for myself, but based on my profile, LinkedIn is telling me jobs, and two of the jobs here that they did put, I didn't scroll all the way down, but pharmaceutical sales representative. So that would be something in my market, something that I could do, and then also communications and public affairs manager. So those are jobs that would fit me. So even without me updating my career profile, you can see how really in tune the system is into your profile and who you are and what you're putting on there. So, good stuff. And here's the career interest form that you are going to fill out, so everyone will know, recruiters will know what you're looking for, where you'd like to be. So you can even put multiple locations, different job titles, and really get that filled out so that you can get the most exposure out of your profile. This is what I was looking for a minute ago. So this is our company page through our corporate healthcare system. And with this, again, you're looking for that job, you want to research that company, you got that interview, you want to find out more about the company. This is an easy place that companies can easily update information without, you know, having the web designer redesign the web page. Recent updates, we're looking for an experienced graphic designer. So right there on the front page, maybe you've always wanted to work at that company, and then they've posted a position that may be an interest to you. And then again, you can see up towards the middle, 22 connections work here, and then there were 80 employees that were part of LinkedIn. So 22 people that I've connected with, the other 80 were some of the gray boxes and things that you did see. If you want more information about the company, again, it says upgrade for free, which they're letting you know, it's a promotional to get you to upgrade. So if you want to learn more about the company, having that page would also upgrade that. And then from here, you also can see what other businesses that people are viewing as well. So a lot of information based on the company pages. Networking. So again, LinkedIn is a great way. I love this. I use this as an example every time just to show you Lamar, because there's a lot of good numbers in here, and how your Lamar connection can maybe open up doors with another Lamar University alumni. With this, there are 56,611 alumni who have registered themselves and put that as their education on their profile. So I want to say I did this talk about a year ago, and that number has gone up about 6,500 alumni. So as LinkedIn is growing, you're going to see more people, and as we graduate more people, that number is going to continue to grow. So it really is a huge number. And the neat thing, it does show you everything from where people live, where they're working, what they do, what business trends they're in, and then it'll start showing you people as well. You can narrow this down if you're looking for a certain year that they were attending Lamar. You also can look that up as well. So the way I use Lamar, and just an example, I mean, you can use this for any industry, you can use this, any connections, but this is just a neat one that I like to use to show you. So I'm looking for a new marketing person for our Tyler office. And so I can use Lamar as a connection to be able to build that. So I can message this person and say, hey, you went to Lamar, so did I, this is what, and just kind of introduce that and open that conversation versus just sending out just a broad statement to this person. So I searched for Tyler for marketing, healthcare. With that, I did not put hospice because I wanted it to be more broad, so I can put that. And then you can see it gives information. Oh, it's at the bottom. So the faces are down here at the bottom. So this shows me the results from what I'm searching. There were 54 alumni that met these categories, and then it listed them. Now again, some people I'm not going to be able to connect with because I'm not close enough to them to get all of their information. But I did find Rebecca, and Rebecca was a second connection. So with that, down here you can see we have 13 mutual connections. So what I would do is I can even look through our mutual connections. Maybe I'm closer to one of those people. I can call them up and say, hey, do you remember Rebecca? Looks like y'all graduated around the same time. I'm looking for marketing. Do you have her number? So you really can go even deeper on finding someone and using that connection in the workforce. Here's where I was talking about people also viewed. So for Rebecca, she has that open. So we can see everyone that's viewed her profile and the other profiles that have been viewed. So as I look over, I may be drawn to Jared. He has an MBA and he graduated UT Tyler in Business and Technology. So then I may click on Jared's profile to see if he would be a candidate or someone that I would want to reach out and chat with, or see if he was interested in changing careers or what fields that he may be into. And again, you can see, her summaries here. You can find out a little bit about her. Scroll down, find out her work history. Emails, LinkedIn does send emails. They do give you, they're very relevant based on your profile. This was just information when I follow the LU alumni group. So when there was a program that was coming up, you got an email on that program. And then also, this is just informational, training healthcare companies in this area, so able to see that. So really good information there. They will also send you jobs. If you're looking for jobs, they'll say, hey, these are the new jobs that have been posted. And so just through your personal work email account, you can get these notifications. So kind of in wrapping up, again, getting your profile 100% complete. Making sure that you are putting the information out there to get seen by recruiters. If it's not, I can't stress it enough, if 95% of recruiters are looking at these profiles, then it's worth updating. It's worth the investment. This is your future. This is what you're here to land those big jobs and to be successful. And this is a great starting point to put yourself out in the workforce. Again, social media, I will say, as a person who hires, and I know you all probably heard this 1,000 times, but what you put on your social media also is what employers look at. People, myself, we go out there, we look at the accounts. Sometimes people think they're on private, and they're not so private. So we look at that, what does this person do? How do they carry themselves? Is this a person that we want in our industry representing our company? Again, so very important with social media. Keywords, again, there may be a position that you want. There may be a position that, as you're finishing your career, your schooling here, maybe the verbiage has changed. Technology, maybe the verbiage changed. But the recruiter that's posting the job may still be calling that position something that we called it 10 years ago. So make sure that you're researching keywords and utilizing different names. Web design, graphic designer, play on different words and research that so you're using correct terminology to get those views and get those recruiters looking at your profile. Make it perfect and really critique. You want to make sure that you've got it, grammar's good, you really have looked over it. Have someone critique your page, have a professor, have a family member, another student. Really use your resources and be able to make sure what you're putting on there is correct. And then engagement. Again, back to the gym membership. We can't just go, we're excited, we're going to update our page, and then forget about it for 6 months and never look back at it. Because what if you're missing a message? What if you're missing a connection that would land you that big job that you've wanted? So really, you should be on your page at minimum and going through the process. And as you land those jobs, you don't want to just stop after you've landed the job, because you never know what connections or what other opportunities that will come from that. And being able to be on there 2 to 3 times a week, it's on your phone, you easily can look at it and be able to really just maximize the potential in LinkedIn. So thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you take away something today, and good luck in your future.